Eleanor had long understood the difference between love whispered and love declared. With Daniel, it was whispered. Behind closed doors, he was gentle and attentive, soft-spoken, memorizing every subtle shift in her expression, every tremor in her voice. In the quiet of his apartment, he called her "my world," tracing circles on her back as if reassuring himself she was real. In those moments, she felt cherished, as though she were the only woman who mattered. But outside those walls, the story changed. In daylight, Daniel became someone else. At fundraisers, dinners, and gatherings with colleagues, Eleanor was introduced as a friend, her presence polite but insignificant. He never reached for her hand, never let his eyes linger. In a life ruled by reputation and social approval, she did not belong. She learned to smile, to stay quiet, to love him softly, as if being seen might shatter the careful image he protected. "Just give me time," he told her. And she did. Time stretched endlessly, like evening shadows across a silent porch. Eleanor mastered patience. She forgave canceled plans, accepted vague excuses, and spent long nights alone while the city pulsed beyond her window. Gradually, she stopped asking questions. Even more quietly, she stopped expecting a future where love stood in the open. Then, one evening, everything broke. She walked into a candlelit restaurant and saw Daniel laughing with another woman. Their hands were intertwined, their smiles free and unashamed. Eleanor stood frozen, her chest hollow. She understood then that she had never been his partner, only his secret, kept carefully hidden from the light. When Daniel came later with apologies and pleading words, she heard only emptiness. Years of silent devotion pressed heavily on her heart. In that stillness, clarity arrived. Love that must be hidden is not love. She packed her belongings quietly, just as she had entered his life. There were no tears, only resolve. Eleanor stepped into the world openly at last, no longer a shadow, choosing herself and a love brave enough to be seen.